This account was created to provide information on how current immigration laws apply to certain factual scenarios. There are many, I suspect, who are worried about their immigration situation, but they're not sure if they should speak to an immigration attorney. Keep in mind, and I cannot stress this enough, that immigration law is unbelievably fact-specific. So even if you think that your situation is nearly identical to one of the ones that I go over here, you still need to speak to an immigration attorney personally. Even the smallest factual changes can make a big difference in the outcome. That said, this is not legal advice. I'm hoping this will merely help educate people as to how the immigration laws work, because I know there are a lot of anxiety exists in certain immigrant communities. Also, immigration laws and procedures will likely change quite a bit in the months to come. So what might be accurate and current at the time of this recording very well could change in the weeks to come, maybe even tomorrow. Okay, so this woman came to the United States in the 1990s illegally. In 2008, she married her U.S. citizen husband and they had a child. After the child was born, the husband became very controlling and on a few occasions he was physically abusive. She never called the police, but she did stay at a women's shelter on a few occasions. She also discussed the abuse with her family members, and she eventually left her husband and filed for divorce in 2018. She wants to know if she can pursue an immigration case. This is a pretty standard VAWA case. All right, so we've talked about VAWA, we've talked about U visas before. In this case, she was married and the individual did have lawful immigration status. The person was a U.S. citizen. So we can pursue a VAWA case. The way that that would work is that we would file the I-360, and then we would also, we can file the adjustment of status or the green card application at the same time, or we can do that separately after the I-360 has been approved. So, you know, whether we do one or the other oftentimes depends on the client, depends on how strong the case is, that sort of thing. So that's something that's going to get very specific to the individual. Now, does the fact that she never called the police hurt the case or make it impossible? It doesn't make it impossible, okay? If you have a police report or a temporary restraining order or anything like that, of course it'll make the case stronger, but it is not a requirement that you have a police report or cooperate with the investigation or the prosecution. None of that is required for VAWA, all right? In this case, if we have any type of records or if we can get a hold of someone that worked at the women's shelter that might be able to write a statement saying that they remember her staying there, that would be very helpful. Family members can also provide testimony in written form, talking about what they witnessed or what was told to them by this woman. That can be helpful to support the claim that, that she was actually the victim of domestic abuse. So as a recap, for VAWA, we need to show that she was actually married to a person that's either a U.S. citizen or a permanent resident, and that she was the victim of either physical abuse or extreme emotional or psychological abuse. So all of those things seem to be present. It'll just be a matter of putting the case together. It's also mentioned that she has a child, so we don't know how old the child is, but if the child is old enough to do a written statement about what he or she saw between the parents, that could be helpful as well. Of course, if the child's too young, maybe we don't want to get them involved in that, but those are all possibilities. A lot of people pursuing VAWA want to know, well, are they going to talk to my spouse, my abusive spouse? Are they going to interview them? Are they going to notify him or her that I have filed this case? The answer is no. Okay, so they're never going to go and speak to the spouse about what happened, and they're not the spouse is not going to receive any kind of notification that this case was filed. So all of that should remain confidential. We handle a lot of VAWA cases. If you have any questions or if you want to schedule a time to talk, you can call our office and we're happy to hear what's going on and see if we believe that we can help. Good luck.